Thanks for tuning in. My name is Ian Hoffman, and this is a presentation on the current energy state in America. Now, currently in America, we have what many consider to be an energy crisis. Now, this energy crisis is a twofold problem. The first part is our high dependence on foreign oil. And what this high dependence on foreign oil does is it costs our government and our country hundreds of billions of dollars each year. And now what that means is higher prices for us, our citizens and consumers. That means we have higher prices in our energy bills and higher prices at the gas pumps. Now the second problem is our harsh impact on our environment with these limited quantity non-renewable fuels. Whereas we could be using clean, renewable energy sources that will be discussed later in this project. Now, there are three solutions to our energy crisis that I've proposed here. The first you'll see is solar-powered energy, and that is actually quite an up-and-coming source of energy. Especially here in sunny Arizona, you may see many houses have solar panels on their roofs now, or you can see giant solar fields that recently have been able to power houses, cities, and hopefully one day even states or the entire country. Now, the second form of energy is wind energy. And that actually has been around for a while. It's been quite a few years. And that's mainly seen in wind turbines. You may see on your drive to California, where have you. And the last form, which I consider to be the most practical and most reasonable, is an integration with our current energy solutions. That means our current energy plants will be fitted with either solar panels or wind energy to get those turbines going. So that means that will cut back on our fuel prices, and that will also cut back on the cost of panels or wind turbines, as they will merely replace what the gas fire once started. But I will discuss more on that later. Now here you can see just a picture of a standard solar panel, one you may find in, say, a solar field. Looks to be something a bit too large for someone's house. But yeah, you can see there the sun is reflecting off that, probably somewhere located in Arizona or California. It's one where these solar panels are really applicable. Alright, the first thing I would like to discuss in terms of solar energy are solar panels on the personal level, that being solar panels found on the rooftops of homes, which actually nowadays is becoming quite more frequent due to government programs such as tax incentives, meaning you will get a tax write-off with the purchase of your solar panel, and also programs found within your energy company, those being mainly meter rollbacks, meaning the more energy you produce and the less you consume, you will produce more than you are consuming, and you can sell that energy back to your power company, so that each month, instead of receiving your usual bill, you will actually receive a check for the energy you have sold to your energy company. And a few problems, though, with these solar panels are not quite perfect yet, is the cost of the panels, the cost of the installation, and the cost of the maintenance. Now, these costs are so high due to low demand and low production because solar panels are still a small niche in the market. But as you find more producers, more buyers, more people putting them on their houses, and actually more government programs and more government funding for these solar panels, you'll find that more companies will start producing, meaning there will be more competition, more competitive prices for you as they all vie for your business. And finally, I would like to discuss integration with current energy plants, meaning our current gas-fired combined cycle plants will actually take out that gas-fired part and have solar panels producing those cycles. So in that way, our current energy plants will not be removed or rebuilt or anything. They will just be simply integrated with our solar energy, thus keeping prices down and keeping the cost, of rebuilding a plant down. So that way we can integrate our solar energy with our current energy state. Now here you see a couple pictures of wind turbines. The picture on the left was one I thought was pretty neat, and that's kind of more of an experimental wind turbine that hopefully we'll see one day in the future. It's just on your freeway, normally where there would be signs for exits or upcoming roads. Instead, they've replaced those with wind turbines. So that is a way we can integrate in our daily lives, have wind turbines. And on the right, you see the current standard wind turbines you may see in Banning Pass on the way to California, which provide most of the energy for the state of California. Wind energy is actually one of the oldest renewable energy sources found out there. People have been capturing the power of the wind for over 1,000 years. Now, the main problem, though, with wind energy is the amount of land that is needed for these turbine fields. You can see in Banning Pass on your way to California the tons of square miles that are used just for these wind turbines, although those wind turbines do have enough energy to power the entire state of California. Now, just as with solar panels, right now they're expensive to install and expensive to maintain. You have to have someone come out, someone who's trained to actually work on these these wind turbines and their generators. But just as with solar panels in the future, there will be hopefully there will be more government funding for such projects, and there will be more competitive pricing. Now, the main benefit is that these wind turbines can produce enough energy to power the entire United States. Already they power most of the state of California. All it will take is land and the funding and the right placement and the right technology. Now, what I would like to discuss is what I consider to be the most reasonable and the most practical solution to our current energy crisis. And that would be integrated forms of energy. Meaning we will take our current energy plants, most of them being gas-fired combined cycle plants, and we will actually integrate, say, solar panels onto these plants. So that means they will be started and fired up by solar panels, and they will turn the same cycles that produce energy. But now they will not be using such limited and non-renewable resources such as gas. Instead, they'll be using clean, renewable energy in the form of solar or wind power. And what that will do, the main benefits of that, is our current plants will remain, and that will cut back on cost to the government, meaning cost to you in the form of your taxes, and that will also cut back on our impact to our environment. We will no longer be producing harm to our environment with burning gas. We will use clean energy such as wind or solar. And that will also help to relieve our dependence on foreign oil, although that will not solve the gasoline or petrol problem with automobiles, but that will hopefully cut back on our dependence and hopefully cut back on the hundreds of billions of dollars we use. Now, these aren't anything that can be done instantly or within the next 2, 3, even 10 years, but hopefully down the road we can prepare for our future without our current forms of energy, and we can start harnessing the power of our renewable energy resources that are found around us. And finally, these are just the sources I used on both my paper and my presentation here. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this entertaining and educational. Thank you.